Hey good people, it's Tasha from Politics and Fashion here today with my very first luxury handbag collection video. And y'all, I started my love affair with handbags when I was a very little girl. I got my first luxury bag, which I will show you all, when I was 13 years old. Still have it. For my 13th birthday, my mom got me that. And I just thought I was it, girl. I pulled up to the function VIP. Okay, when I tell you I shut Bartow Middle School down with that bag, I did, which is why she's still in the collection, because this is still a bad B, and I will pull her out when the occasion calls for it. But I honestly hesitated to create this video because I kept thinking to myself, well, I don't have this bag, I need that bag, well, I really want this bag. And so I kept thinking that my collection wasn't complete. And that is such a false and problematic narrative for me, because I love to share with you all about the importance of appreciating what you have and shopping with intention. So from that perspective, no matter what I bring in, what I sell, what I take out, what I donate, etc., my collection is still good enough just the way that it is. And so with that philosophy in mind, I'm going to show you my curated collection of about 10 luxury handbags or so. If that sounds good to you, make sure you are following me over on Instagram for daily style and self-care inspiration. Subscribe to the channel because I don't want you to miss a video, girl, and just keep watching. Before I get started, let me share with you all what I am wearing today. It is the Lack of Color hat from Anthropologie. This one is the white wool fedora, as you can see, with the turned up brim. Somebody mentioned to me that the hat was sold out. If I can find it, you all, on another website, of course it will be linked down below. My earrings are by Natia and Lako. I am wearing this really great vest that I got from a small boutique in Dallas. I'll link the boutique if I can find it. Also wearing my Aritzia crop top. This one is the strapless version. I always go on and on about Aritzia crop tops, girl, so you already know. Springtime, gotta put those in rotation. And on the bottom, I am wearing my Jocelyn Studio linen pants, which you would have seen in my spring haul. Also, the hat was in my spring haul. So if you haven't watched that video, girl, make sure you go back and you watch that next. I get a lot of questions about my bracelets, including my charm bracelet. This is by a black-owned brand called Free Maiden. So is the thick cuff. And then this one in the middle is by Cartier, and that is what is on the wrist today. Now let's jump into these handbags. So my friends, this is where the love affair all started. This is where the luxury handbag collection began. It was a young shot. She was 13 years old, okay? She was attending Bartow Middle School. And when she came in to the building with her 13th birthday present, you already know what happened. Shut it down. The likes of which Miss Overstreet's 7th grade math class, do you think they were ready for this? They were not. They were not. This was a present from my mom, y'all. I have always been into handbags, and we have this tradition, well, I think she started it, where, you know, for your first year as a teenager, that you get a really nice gift. And for me, she might as well have handed me $1 million. Like, this was more valuable than gold to me, because I had been seeing Dooney and Burke's. We would go to the flea market on the weekends, and I was begging her for one of the replica bags. And so when she came through with the authentic one, I said, oh, God, you are blessing me today, girl. Went to Sunday school just as happy as I was early to Sunday school that Sunday, okay? In all seriousness, what I have appreciated about this bag over the years, you all, I just turned 40, as many of you know. This bag is that old. I won't try to do the math because I'm going to fail. This bag is that old, and it just speaks to the quality and the craftsmanship over the years. I don't have any new Dooney and Burke bags, so I'm not sure if they are also made just as well. But what I can say is I wore this bag as recently as probably about 7 years ago. Like, I was really into vintage pieces, vintage handbags especially. and I will wear this all the time. It sits crossbody, which is really great. I've always loved the colorway. The brass could use a good polish, but I'm sure if I did polish it, girl, it would just really shine like it did when I got it at 13 years old. It has the classic Dooney and Burke medallion. This is the way we could always tell, okay, is that a real Dooney? Does she got the medallion on her Dooney? Because we were pressed, okay? So it has the classic Dooney medallion there. It has the tassels in the front because it is a bucket bag, and it has the Dooney and Burke seal there. And I would venture to say that they probably either make something very similar to this bag or make a style that is identical to this day, because a classic bucket bag is never going to go out of style. Oh, I have a gum wrapper in there. Who knows how long that's been in there. So it holds quite a bit. I mean, I was 13, so I didn't have a whole lot, but it holds quite a bit. And when I did carry it a few years ago, as I mentioned, I was pleased because I could fit a full-size wallet in there, my keys, Metro card, everything that I needed to go about my business and float around the city. And so this is the first luxury handbag in my collection, and it will never go anywhere. Now let's get into what I would call my everyday bags, okay? This one is by Saint Laurent. It is called the East Side bag, and for folks who are very familiar with the brand, then you know that it has a remarkable resistance to the sock de jour. And the difference that this bag has from that one is a zipper right down the middle, which actually makes me love it more. And it also has this little pouch in the front. And like the sac de jour, this also came in, I think, 2 or 3 sizes. And so I got this bag on sale. It was one of those things where I just thought to myself, I can't pass this up. On top of it having the top handles, which I'm happy that can also be put down as such. It also has an adjustable crossbody strap, another piece of gum. Just got gum everywhere. It also has an adjustable crossbody strap, which is great because I'm almost 6 feet tall and it's quite long. And then on those days where I want to really feel like I'm being cute, you know, being a little classy, then I wear it top handle. I am somebody who very easily goes between top handle and crossbody. I don't really have a preference, although I feel like when I'm trying to really give a look, top handle tends to be for me, okay? I wish it had feet on it. I think the larger size did come with feet. And as with many of the newer Saint Laurent bags, it just has the Saint Laurent embossed there in gold. But the fun part is that it does have the YSL. Hopefully that is in focus. It does have the YSL on the side. And so, just a great everyday bag. It has a few pockets on the inside. It is very easy for me to fit my full-size LV wallet in here. Great to travel with because you can fit so much in it. It's not a tote bag, obviously, which I'll get to soon. It's also pretty inconspicuous. Like, no one really knows what this is unless you got very close and you saw the Saint Laurent logo or you saw the YSL on the side, right? Which is great too. So it's not too logo heavy. The one thing I can say is that this is probably the last bag I will get that is the smooth calfskin. I'm looking at it now and it does have quite a few scratches. These are probably surface level. I'm sure they would buff out with a good leather lotion, but if it was a more durable leather, I wouldn't have that problem. Nevertheless, to have gotten it on sale and for this to be one of my most used everyday handbags, I am pleased. You and I must make a pact. Girl, I can never hear that song without thinking about that movie with the woman who had Munchausen's disease and she was not well. And her, that little girl, was singing that song, girl. She pulled all that child's teeth out. Never mind. If I can think of the name, The Act. Let me know if you've seen that movie down below. We digress. So here we have the Hermespicatine 22. I was on the hunt for this bag, girl, like a thief in the night. I saw this bag first at the boutique at either North Park or I think it's called Highland Park in Dallas. And I did not even know that Hermes made this bag. We know that Hermes is very notorious for like keeping their inventory close to their chest. And it's like, do you want to sell the product or no? The answer usually is no. So one side of the one that I saw, y'all, was blue, a very deep navy blue, and the other side was like a teal. And I thought it was the most beautiful thing in the world, and it is one of my biggest regrets as far as fashion is concerned, that I did not leave that store with that bag, because as soon as I left and attempted to then contact that SA about the bag of course had sold. And then I came to the DC boutique and tried to inquire about a bag, and they had no bags. And I did not know at that time how difficult it could be to get certain bags in a colorway that you want, in a size that you want. And this is not just true for a Birkin or a Kelly. And with the Picatine now becoming a more popular bag, it's even more difficult to find. I spent, y'all, I think like $3,200-$3,300 for this bag, and believe it or not, I have seen it in this condition, black with gold hardware, going for double that on the resale market. Now I am going to always keep this because it is the bag that I got myself to celebrate going into solopreneurship. I had saved, I had my consulting clients, I was working on my own products and services. Those were becoming lucrative, and so I felt like, okay, Shy, you can jump out here and you can celebrate yourself going into a new year. And so I've had this bag now for almost a year and a half. You don't see a lot of content about it, so if you all would like to know my review on it, let me know down below. I'm happy to film that because she's been a joy to have. Once again, another one of those bags. It's not logo driven at all. If you know, you know. As soon as my SA at the time at City Center in DC opened this bag, my best friend was with me. I was like, girl, come down with me to get my bag. She was with me for the moment, and she was like, it was like a slow tear almost fell out of her eye, because the camera will never do the quality of Hermes's craftsmanship justice. I just don't believe that a camera can do it justice. You have got to see it in person. And so there was just something about the pop of the gold on what otherwise is a pretty simple handbag that for me just exuded class. And so I knew I was making the right decision. On the bottom you see the feet. It also of course has the lock, which is 100% removable. In the middle you have the clasp that holds it in. If you wanted to remove the lock, of course, the leather strap would just slide all the way through. All right, and it is pretty sizable on the inside. I don't have gum in this one. I just got some gummy bears. Yo, I promise I'm not this kind of person. This is so embarrassing. Just throw that to the side. And I have an organizer in here by a company called Samorga, which gives the bag more of a boxy shape. I don't exactly know how I feel about that, but I've kept it in because I wanted to keep the bag in really good condition. The inside of it is leather, or maybe suede, so it's the reverse side of the leather. And it holds quite a bit. I'm happy that I went for the 22 over the 18. I am tall. I do want this to be an everyday bag, and so it helps that it is the larger size. This bag of course does not have a crossbody strap, and so from that perspective it's not my everyday bag, but I do love to pull it out once again when I want to have a little bit of a classier look but also be functional at the same time. That is the Hermes Picatine 22, one of y'all my favorite bags in my collection. Next up are micro bags, and let's start with the Valentino Vanity bag. Unfortunately, Valentino does not make this exact version of a bag anymore, and it's a shame because I love it. I caught this on sale at Saks for like $600, which I thought was a great price. I mean, it is a micro bag, so maybe that actually is a more appropriate price for it. And I got it last year right before before I went to Miami Swim Week. I wanted something that was interesting, just interesting, fun, and I think that's what micro bags are. They're very quirky. They add an element of interest to your outfit. And so I feel like I slayed every look that I wore with this bag. It just kind of gave me a different, I don't know, like it's just a different type of like bop to my step or something. It just seemed so cool. Like my bag is so tiny, I don't even need to put my phone in there. Linen air can fit in here. That's just how cool I am. Why do I need a functional purse? Like that's what this gives. Nevertheless, at the time that I found this bag, I had been in love, I'm talking about obsessed, girl, with the Chanel vanity bags. And I don't have any Chanel behind me on purpose because I think even resale, I find their price points to be egregious. And so I was not going to drop, I don't know, 4 or 5 bands, whatever the ridiculous price was, for a micro bag. And when I saw this one on sale at Saks last year for $600, girl, I have never ran to a cash register quicker. It was as if I had the golden ticket. I said, girl, cash me out. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna still look at other stuff, but let's just go ahead and just settle this. We're gonna settle this now. This bag actually made me sell my YSL small cape that I had for probably about 3 years or so, maybe 4. And I just found myself not reaching for it anymore. And so I waited some time just to see if I was going to go back to the OG. And sis just had been replaced. And so I sold that bag during my Poshmark closet sale last month. If you missed the sale, I am sorry. But make sure you are following my closet over on Poshmark because over time I will continue to update it. Don't know how many more luxury handbags will be on my Poshmark. This was the only one, or not this one, the YSL small cape was the only one that I sold during my most recent sale. But you never know. I'll try to make room for new things, especially if I find myself not reaching for the older item. And so the vanity bag is one of my favorite micro bags, as I mentioned. My next micro bag is a bag that I actually have a whole review on YouTube because when she was released, sis was all the rage. I'm talking about people were out here like Felicia from Friday trying to make a double take off of these off these Coach pillow tabbies. But no shade, no tea, because the pillow tabby is the best bag that Coach has come out with in a long time, girl. And you know that puffy, poofy silhouette is so popular. It's that Chanel 19. It's that Bottega pouch. Like, it is such a popular silhouette for handbag lovers until for me, Coach is kind of, they already knew. They were doing their market analysis. The girls were right on track. For me, what makes the bag stand out is the fact that the Coach logo, the C, is covered in the same color leather as the bag. It's just the small details, y'all. Because Coach could have so easily done the logo in the classic metal gold C or silver C, depending on the hardware. But when they covered it with this leather and it gave the bag almost like this monotone silhouette, and then you have the puffiness on top of that, knocked me over with a feather. I was sold. I mean, my friend Amber Rochelle and I, if you all follow her on social media or here on YouTube, if not you should, we were in LA shopping. It was my birthday trip last year, and we walked into Coach on Rodeo. We asked them about the pillow tabby. They only had it, or they may have been sold out because this was at like the height of the craze, but at that point it had only been released in the pink and the lime green. And the essay, who was very kind, told us, he said, well, it is going to be coming out in the micro size in the bone or the ivory color. And both of us said, all right, put us down. We literally gave him our name and our number. And luck would have it that he actually called and he shipped both of us our bags probably about 3 weeks later when it actually did get released. And so while this is a micro bag, it actually is deceivingly small to the eye, that is, because realistically, girl, I can fit my phone in here, which is not typical for a micro bag, and I can also fit my Louis Vuitton key pouch, which I use as my wallet when I'm carrying this bag, and I can also fit a small bottle of hand sanitizer, and I usually will stick a little mirror in the bag. throw a lip gloss on top, girl, and you were out the door. I'm just a fan of the entire silhouette. I actually thought about the larger size, either for myself and or to gift it to my mom. That will probably happen because I saw the bag again recently in a metallic, in silver, and in gold, and that is so good. And I have one metallic bag in my collection I'm going to show you. You probably already know what it is. And so I'm looking for something to rotate with that one because it is starting to show a bit of wear. So from that perspective, once again, I think that the Coach Pillow Tabby is it. I don't know if I will keep her forever because I am looking for a larger bag in a similar color. And my next micro bag is this little adorable one. This is by Fendi. This is a Fendi Baguette micro bag, or they call it a bag charm, in the classic Zucca print. This little bitty thing is one of the most disproportionately, eye-wateringly overpriced things on the planet, okay? And I love Fendi, but I gotta keep it a stack, okay? Nevertheless, we're back to those things being kind of quirky and adding some fun and some interest to your outfit. I am so happy that I have it. And I actually remember being at Fendi in December out in Vegas, and my sister and Aunt Ray were with me, and they said, why don't you just get the bigger size bag? They were like, just because Aunt Ray assumed it was because I didn't want to spend the money. So she's like, babe, just get the bigger bag. Get it in the small size. Get it in the medium size. Just get the bigger bag. That's absolutely impractical. And I was like, no, y'all don't get it. It being impractical is why it's so perfect. Like, that is the whole point. It's kind of tongue-in-cheek. And they were like, okay, but no. They wasn't buying it, but that's okay because they ain't got to wear it. Everything ain't for everybody. I have worn this little sucker so much, girl. Whenever I travel, I take this with me, and I take a tote. That's what I did on my recent trip to Florida. Now, even though it is teeny tiny, let me just tell you how I can maximize it. I wore it to a concert recently when I was back in Florida, and here's what I do. I put on the inside of it my ID and a card or two. You can also fold some cash back there if you need to. And then on the front side, I put a lip gloss. You can scrunch up a mask in there if you need to. Does it hold your phone? Obviously not. But I typically only go for this when I am wearing something that has pockets, or if I'm wearing a coat or a jacket, or if I just don't mind carrying my phone in my hands because I'm going to an event for a couple hours, right? And on that day I was wearing a pair of denim. So for me it works. Because it is a bag charm, I know Fendi definitely advertises this on top of a handbag, on top of, for example, a peekaboo. I've seen that plenty of times. I've actually played around with putting it on in the front of my Picatine. I've never actually worn it, but I put it on to see, and I thought it was a really cute look. But I like it as a micro bag, not necessarily as much as a charm. You can also hook here it on your belt loop, which I have done before as well. And just so you all see, this is the strap in the way that I wear it. Crossbody, it's just a little chain. And I feel like I probably could play around with this as well, like to be a belt bag. I guess I wouldn't really have to do that though, because if I wanted to give it the look of being a belt, I could just put it on my belt loops using the little clasp here. But despite it being overpriced, despite it barely being functional, I still think it is a cute bag, and I'm happy that I finally got me a little taste of a Fendi Baguette in my collection. Now let's go to pouches. I have two in my collection. This one is the Louis Vuitton Daily pouch. I was so pleased, y'all, recently when I went in Louis and realized that they still carried this. Now the one that I saw, at least that was in store, had the black leather up top, but I thought to myself, because Louis is notorious for discontinuing something that all the girls love. I mean, can we say toiletry pouch, okay? And so if you were interested, it is still available. Just wanted to get that out there. But I got this on the same day that I got my LV key pouch, y'all. Louis Vuitton does not have a handbag that I would wear. Not currently. There's nothing there that really tickles my fancy. But Louis Vuitton small leather goods, Give me every one. I want every pouch. I want every wallet. I want every agenda cover. I want jewelry cases, perfume holders. I want them all. I want them all. Because I just think as a company, they do travel accessories and SLGs wonderfully. Now, this is such a great accompaniment to my totes. I don't wear it by itself as much anymore. I think I shot with it maybe back in January or February. But realistically, this just does such a great job of organization. It does a great job of keeping my contents inside when I am carrying my totes. I also love to travel with it. It fits my e-reader on the inside of it. Probably would also fit an iPad as well, and so it definitely gets a lot of use. The inside is microfiber, and it doesn't have any key pouches or slots, but it does have one pouch in the back. And I'm sorry that I keep doing this, but the thing that I love about LV the most, girl, that thing is like butter. That zipper, oof. LV daily pouch. And then we have a bag that will go down in history as part of the first collection of Daniel Lee, who was responsible during his time at Bottega for shepherding in a new era. Girl, it ain't your grandmama's Bottega no more. If you follow fashion, you already know that, okay? And so the pouch was one of his early designs, and this obviously is in the gold leather. Now, I don't think that Bottega makes this version anymore. There is currently one that is a more structured leather. It's not a structured bag, but the leather is thicker. This is very soft leather, okay? And it has almost like wave designs to it. If I am being honest, I highly wish that I would have waited for that one to come out, because this one, I'm not sure if you all can see, but the leather has rubbed off the top where you hold it, which is to be expected because it's essentially, I mean, unless Daniel Lee was able to find a gold cow, which I doubt, it's just painted cowhide, and so it is going to naturally fade over time. And this is just something that you really think about when you're buying something brand new and you're excited about it. I have to admit, I did not even consider that being a problem. There is no strap. So all day when I wear it, I'm wearing it like this. And I'm saying all day intentionally because I remember getting this bag at the Bottega at Tyson's Corner. My homie GD is the one who helped me out. He was my SA there. And he was like, oh, it's a great formal bag. And I was like, no, you don't get it. I'm getting ready to wear this all the time. Like to basketball games, down at the concession stand, going out for a beer on the weekend. Like, I'm getting ready to wear this all the time and all the way. That is exactly what I did because it gave me that pop I needed when I wanted to play around with contrast dressing, which I talk to y'all about all the time. And so I don't regret the purchase. I just regret that I got it in this leather. This is all they had. So if you have any ideas, let me know down below. I'm thinking about taking it to the leather spa. I know for Bottega, they have a policy that they only cover hardware. So if, for example, the bag ceased to open and close, right? If the magnetic kind of closure no longer worked, that's a hardware issue. Leather, they feel like it's up to the individual's wear and tear, so it's not covered. So I cannot go through Bottega any longer unless I wanted to pay. And if I'm gonna pay, it might make sense for me to actually have a shorter return time and just go with a local cobbler or with a company like the Leather Spa, where from my understanding I could ship it off. But y'all let me know down below if you think that that would actually solve the issue and if they will be able to kind of match up this colorway. I would love to know from you. But Bottega Veneta pouch is the only one I have. I don't feel a need to have any more. I don't feel a need to go for the mini pouch. Very, very pleased with this one, even despite the color rubbing off of the top of the bag. Next up are color bags, and I only have one left in my collection, y'all, and it is the Brandon Blackwood. You all have seen this bag so many times, and so I will not talk about it in detail again. Just know that it was included in my Black owned brands video when I go into further detail about it. But for now, what I will say is that the bag also comes with a crossbody strap. I love baby blue. I love it, baby blue and brown as a color color combination. Brandon Blackwood does a lot with this type of like gold bamboo, which is something that's cool. And for me, it's an ode to the 90s with the bamboo earrings. At least how many pair, girl? Go ahead and let me know. 2 pair. And then it has the feet on the bottom as well. And so this for me is just such a classy bag. It actually, if it was in a neutral color, would probably be my everyday bag. Just being completely honest with you, because I just can't get over these pops of gold. I think it makes the bag look so kind of up-to-date, contemporary. And if it was in black, I think it would also look very chic. And so not mad that I have baby blue, not mad about that at all, okay? I'm just saying that if I had to do it all over again, I might get it in black, because I don't know that I want 2 of this silhouette in my collection, especially because the size of it would then replace, and I don't want to do that, this bag. So just kind of how my mind works, y'all, when it comes down to what I believe is important to have in and to not duplicate and to get rid of, etc. And so I don't feel a need to have multiple bags that do the same exact thing, which is probably why my collection will always be a bit smaller than some other content creators, and I'm cool with that. So yeah, that is a very long way of me saying this is the Brandon Blackwood bag. I always forget the name of this bag, y'all, but trust that it will be linked down below. And of course, we could not go anywhere without talking about totes. I have 2 bags in this category, so let's start off with the Christian Dior book tote. And y'all, I cannot remember a handbag that I wanted more than this bag. I was coveting this more than the Picatine. I mean, it was bad. I was jonesing for this thing, girl. Like a addict needs dope is how I was with the Christian Dior book tote. And I don't know what it is about this bag, because now this used to be called the small. It is now called the medium. They have a small now. And I'm like, I need that one. There's something about this style, about the design, and I usually do not go up for handbags that are canvas or that aren't leather. But the craftsmanship, the quality, the level of embroidery that goes into this, I mean, there is nothing that compares to the book tote. And for me, I got it in the small intentionally because 2 things. Number 1, I felt like in a small I could still wear it day to day. And number 2, even though I'm going to keep saying small, but know that this is now the medium. It was a small when I got it. And number 2, even though this was the smaller one at the time, it still fits a laptop. I have a 13-inch MacBook Pro. It fits in here. Okay, my agenda fits in here, a bottle of water fits in here. I also have a Samorgo organizer in here as well. And I love the Samorgo organizer because it has a whole bunch of different pockets for organization, because if not, this bag would just be one big hole, girl. There's not even a little pocket sewn into the back of this. It is just one big box. And if there was any negative to it, I would say that that is what it is. The other thing is that clearly it is canvas, and so it could use a very thorough cleaning. The handles definitely need to be cleaned on this. The entire bag really does. But otherwise, for the amount of time that I have had it, I got it in 2020. For my birthday, so it's been 2 years almost exactly. And despite that, I mean, I don't see any other signs of wear or tear, and I'm talking about I travel with this bag consistently. And the other dope part is too, if you did not want to put it on the plane without the organizer in it, the bag literally will fold flat and just fit directly into your suitcase. And so I ended up getting another tote, which I will show you in a minute, not because I didn't love this one, but because it is canvas and I don't want to completely wear her out. I don't want to do that, so I got to kind of chill her for a little while and do more of a rotation. This is your sign, girl. If you were thinking about a book tote and you're trying to figure out if it's really worth the price point, even at the raised prices, girl, I think it is. I think that it is. And I only paid, I think, $2,500 or $2,300 for this. Whatever it was, I know at the time it was the most I had ever spent on a bag. And my family contributed substantially to it. And so I think I ended up paying a little over half, and that was still for me kind of a hefty lift because I knew in total that she was a pretty large sum. And now it's over 3. I think it's like $3,600. No, this can't have gone up a whole $1,000. It may have though. I think it's $3,600 for the larger size. But I don't know because I just saw the small in store and she was 3 bands. Whatever the price is, my dear, it has gone up quite a bit. Despite that, I would recommend her. She's a keeper. And last but not least is my newest tote. This one is in the dark gray pebbled leather from Teddy Blake. Teddy Blake sent me this bag during a recent partnership. You would have seen it integrated into my coldest winter ever vlog. If you were not watching my vlogs, girl, you late. This is why you don't be seeing stuff, because you don't watch vlogs. Go watch that one next. It was a lot of fun, y'all. This is the bag that I rotate, obviously, with the Dior book tote. And she actually, I'm just going to keep it a stack, wins out as far as functionality is concerned over the book tote. And do you want to know why? I was very impressed about this when I got this bag, because I said I don't want another tote that does not have a crossbody strap. And that can be very hard to find on a leather tote, especially a leather tote that is made from high quality leather. Teddy Blake's bags are actually known for being made in the same factories as some of the big named luxury houses. And so they're using the same Italian leather as some of those brands. The inside of it is fully suede. It has one pocket down the middle. And while it does not close completely, it does have this little strap here. I had a Teddy Blake code, so I'll make sure that I link that down below, because y'all, I was going through it. I was looking at every brand's totes that I could imagine, and one with a crossbody strap. I stumbled upon this one. Lo and behold, they reached out to me and wanted to partner, so it was great timing, perfect synchronicity. It has feet on the bottom, which is always great, especially when you use a tote for travel purposes. And I'm not trying to sell the tote. I just want to talk to you about why I love this brand and this tote so much. And so I didn't want another black bag, I'm sorry, so I made sure to get it in this dark gray. I don't see myself needing another tote until maybe even forever ever. I mean, we're going to ride these two until the wheels fall off. And that is it, good people. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you have loved it, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up, and of course make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Also make sure you're following me over on Instagram for daily style and self-care inspiration, and I will see you good people across the internet. Peace.